My beloved child, come and sit with me for a while. You do not need to impress me, and you do not need to pretend that everything in your life is fine. I already know how heavy your heart feels. I know how long you've been holding things together for everyone else while quietly breaking inside. The world keeps asking you to be strong, to move faster, to do more, and to never slow down. But today, I am asking you to rest in my presence and listen with your heart. I see the exhaustion that others overlook. I see how you wake up already tired, not because your body is weak, but because your soul has been carrying too much for too long. You have responsibilities that nobody thanks you for and struggles that nobody notices. You smile, you show up, and you keep going even on days when you feel empty. My child, your strength has not gone unnoticed by me. Every tear you hid, every prayer you whispered, and every moment you chose to continue when you wanted to stop, I saw it all. There are nights when your mind refuses to be quiet. You lie awake replaying moments from your past, wondering what you could have done differently. You question your decisions, your relationships, and even your worth. You ask yourself if life was supposed to feel this hard. I want you to hear this clearly. You are not broken beyond repair, and you are not failing at life. You are in a season of becoming, even if it feels uncomfortable and confusing right now. You have wondered why I allowed certain things to happen. Why I did not stop the pain, the loss, or the disappointment. My child, I never take pleasure in your suffering. But sometimes what you see as punishment is actually protection, and what feels like delay is preparation. I am shaping you in ways you cannot yet understand. What I am building in you requires depth, and depth is formed in places where comfort cannot stay. I know you have felt alone, even when surrounded by people. There are moments when you wish someone would truly listen, truly understand, or simply stay. When they didn't, your heart learned to be silent. You stopped sharing because you did not want to be disappointed again. But I want you to remember this. You were never meant to carry your burdens alone. I am closer than your breath, and I have never turned away from your pain. You are not weak because you feel tired. You are human. Even I, when I walked this earth, felt the weight of sorrow, rejection, and loneliness. I know what it means to be misunderstood and betrayed. That is why I understand your tears so well. When you feel overwhelmed, you do not need to hide from me. Come exactly as you are, because my presence is not earned, it is given. Right now, you may not see a clear path ahead. The future feels uncertain, and answers feel far away. But trust this truth. I am already in your tomorrow. I am working in places you cannot see, opening doors you have not yet reached, and protecting you from things you do not even know about. You may feel lost, but you are not without direction. I am guiding you step by step, even when the way feels. Take a deep breath and release what you have been holding so tightly. You do not have to have everything figured out today. You do not have to carry the weight of the future on your shoulders. Give me your worries, your fears, and your unanswered questions. Let me hold them for you. You were never meant to walk this journey alone. Stay here with me for a while. Let your heart be still. This is only the beginning of what I want to speak into your life today. Now that you are here with me, I want you to allow your heart to open a little more. I know you have learned to protect yourself by staying quiet, by not showing how deeply things affect you. Life has taught you that vulnerability can be dangerous, and so you built walls instead of bridges. But with me, you do not need to hide. I already know the pain you carry, the memories that still ache, and the wounds that never fully healed. You are safe in my presence. I know the pain of rejection you have experienced, not just once, but many times in different forms. You were rejected by people you trusted, overlooked when you gave your best, and abandoned when you needed support the most. Some rejected you with words, others with silence. And slowly, Your heart began to believe that maybe you were the problem. But listen to me carefully. Rejection is often a reflection of someone else's inability to love, not a measure of your worth. What they cannot give you does not define who you are. There are memories you try not to think about, moments that return without warning. Certain words still echo in your mind, and certain faces still trigger emotions you do not fully understand. You thought time would erase the pain, but instead it learned how to hide itself deeper. My child, healing does not mean forgetting. Healing means allowing me to enter the places you locked away because they hurt too much to face alone. I am gentle with your wounds, and I will never rush your healing. You have been strong for so long that you forgot what it feels like to be held. You learned to survive without asking for help, to carry burdens silently, and to cry only when no one could hear you. But strength was never meant to isolate you. Even the strongest hearts need rest, comfort, and reassurance. I never asked you to be strong all the time. I asked you to trust me, especially when you feel weak. I know you struggle with forgiveness, not because you do not want to forgive, but because the pain was real. The betrayal was real. The loss was real. You fear that forgiving means excusing what happened or allowing it to happen again. But forgiveness is not approval, and it is not forgetting. Forgiveness is releasing yourself from the weight of carrying bitterness. When you forgive, you're not freeing the other person. You're freeing your own heart. And I will walk with you through that process, step by step. There are moments when you blame yourself for what went wrong. You wonder if you were too much, not enough, or simply wrong. You replay situations and imagine different endings. But self-blame will never bring peace. My child, you did the best you could with the understanding you had at that time. Growth comes from learning, not from punishment. I do not look at your past with condemnation. I look at it with compassion. You have been wounded by words spoken carelessly and actions done selfishly. Those wounds shaped how you see yourself and how you approach others. You hesitate to trust, to open up, and to love freely. But I want to heal not just your pain, but also your perspective. You were not created to live guarded and fearful. You were created to live free, loved, and whole. Healing may take time, but every step you take toward me is a step toward restoration. Sometimes you feel angry, even at me. You wonder why I allowed certain things to happen when I could have stopped them. You feel guilty for those thoughts, but I already know them. You do not offend me with your honesty. Bring your anger, your questions, and your confusion to me. Faith does not mean pretending everything is okay. Faith means trusting me enough to bring me the truth of your heart. I want you to understand this deeply. I never abandoned you in your pain. I was there in every moment you felt alone, even when you could not sense me. I was there when you cried quietly, when you felt numb, and when you wondered if things would ever change. Just because you did not feel my presence does not mean I was absent. I was holding you, even when you felt like you were falling apart. Your pain has not been wasted. I know it does not feel that way now, but one day you will understand how it shaped your compassion, your wisdom, and your strength. The very places where you were wounded will become places where you can bring healing to others. I do not cause pain, but I redeem it. I take what was meant to break you and use it to build something deeper within you. Let me heal you at the pace your heart can handle. Do not rush the process or compare your healing to others. Some wounds take longer because they matter more. Stay with me. Trust me with your pain. I am not disappointed in you for still hurting. I am proud of you for still trying. This is not the end of your story. This pain is not your identity. Healing is happening even now as you listen. And as we move forward together, I will show you how to trust again, how to love again, and how to live again without fear controlling your heart. My beloved child, I know how much fear you carry inside, even when you try not to show it. Fear has become so familiar to you that sometimes you do not even recognize how deeply it controls your thoughts. You fear making the wrong decision, fear losing what you have left, fear trusting again, and fear that the future may bring more pain than you can handle. You try to prepare for every possible outcome, believing that if you stay alert enough, nothing will surprise you again. But living in constant fear has quietly drained your peace, and I want to restore that peace to you. I see your anxiety, the way your mind races ahead of your life, creating problems that have not yet arrived. You worry about tomorrow while still trying to survive today. You carry questions with no answers and imagine endings you have no control over. Anxiety has convinced you that if you think enough, plan enough, and worry enough, you will somehow protect yourself from pain. But fear is a poor protector, and anxiety is a heavy burden that was never meant for your heart to carry alone. You have been trying to trust me, but trust feels difficult after disappointment. You trusted before, and you were hurt. You believed before, and things did not turn out the way you hoped. So now you hesitate. You hold back parts of your heart, not because you lack faith, but because you're tired of being disappointed. My child, I understand that hesitation. I'm not asking you to trust blindly or perfectly. I'm asking you to trust me slowly, honestly, and one step at a time. You worry about the future because it feels uncertain. You want assurance that things will get better, that your efforts will not be wasted, and that your pain will not repeat itself. But certainty does not create peace. Trust does. I am already in your tomorrow, even though you cannot see it. I know what lies ahead, and nothing surprises me. When you walk with me, the future is not something to fear. It is something to grow into. I know you struggle with letting go of control. Control makes you feel safe, even though it exhausts you. You try to manage everything because you are afraid that if you let go, everything will fall apart. But control has cost you rest, joy, and sometimes even faith. I want you to know that surrender is not losing. It is choosing peace over fear. When you release what you cannot control into my hands, you make room for my strength to work in your life. You have asked me why I do not always remove your fears immediately. My child, courage is not the absence of fear. It is learning to move forward even when fear is present. Every time you choose trust over panic, every time you choose faith over worry, something within you grows stronger. I am not disappointed when you feel afraid. I am with you as you learn to walk through fear instead of being ruled by it. Sometimes your anxiety comes from feeling alone in your responsibilities. You feel like everything depends on you, that if you fail, everything will collapse. But you were never meant to carry life on your shoulders alone. I'm not a distant observer watching you struggle. I'm a present guide walking beside you. When you feel overwhelmed, pause and remember that I am carrying far more than you realize. You often ask for signs, reassurance, and clear directions. While I sometimes provide them, there are times when I ask you to trust me without seeing the full picture. Faith grows in those moments. Just as a child trusts a parent's hand without knowing the path ahead, I am inviting you to walk with me even when the way feels uncertain. I will not lead you where my grace cannot sustain you. I know fear has shaped how you live, how you love, and how you decide. It has made you cautious, guarded, and hesitant. But fear does not get the final word over your life. I have given you a spirit not of fear, but of strength, love, and a sound mind. You are stronger than you think, not because of your own ability, but because I am with you. As you move forward, fear will still try to speak to you, but it does not have to guide you. Each step you take with me weakens fear's hold on your heart. Trust will not come all at once. and that is okay. I am patient with you. I celebrate every small step you take toward peace. The future may still feel uncertain, but you do not walk into it alone. I go before you, I walk beside you, and I stand behind you. You are held, protected, and guided more than you can see right now. Rest in this truth as we continue together. My beloved child, I know how difficult it has been for you to wait. Waiting has felt heavier than the pain itself, because waiting makes you question whether anything is actually changing. You have been patient longer than you thought you could be, and yet the answers you hoped for have not arrived. You wonder if your prayers are being delayed or ignored. But waiting is not a sign that I have forgotten you. Waiting is often where purpose is quietly formed and where transformation begins. I see how deeply you want clarity. You want to know why your path looks different from others and why your progress feels slower. You want assurance that your life has meaning and that your efforts are not wasted. My child, purpose is not always revealed in loud moments or instant breakthroughs. Sometimes purpose is built slowly, through obedience in small things, faithfulness in quiet seasons, and trust when nothing makes sense. What feels like stagnation to you is often preparation. You have measured your life by outcomes, achievements, and visible success, because that is what the world taught you to do. When results do not come quickly, you begin to doubt yourself and your direction. But I measure your life differently. I look at the growth of your heart, the depth of your compassion, and the strength of your character. These things are not wasted, even when they are unseen. The transformation happening inside you matters more than the recognition happening around you. Waiting has revealed parts of you that needed healing and parts of you that needed refining. It has stripped away false confidence and forced you to depend on me in ways you never had to before. That dependence may feel uncomfortable, but is building a foundation that will not collapse when life becomes uncertain again. You're learning to trust me not just for blessings, but for direction, meaning, and identity. I know you sometimes feel invisible in this season. You give your best, yet it seems unnoticed. You remain faithful, yet progress feels slow. You wonder if anyone truly sees your efforts. But I see them. Every moment of obedience, every act of kindness, every time you choose integrity over convenience. I see it all. Nothing done with love and faith is ever wasted in my eyes. You have asked me when this season will end. I understand that question, and I'm not offended by it. But I want you to know that this season is shaping you for what comes next. If I moved you forward too quickly, it would cost you the strength you need later. I am not delaying your future. I am protecting it. What I am preparing for you requires maturity, humility, and resilience, and those things grow best in seasons like this. Transformation is rarely comfortable. It challenges your habits, your beliefs, and sometimes even your identity. You are not the same person you were before, and that change can feel unsettling. But you're becoming more aligned with who you were created to be. Let go of the version of yourself that you have outgrown. Trust that what is emerging is stronger, wiser, and more grounded than what you are leaving behind. You may feel tempted to rush ahead, to force doors open, or to settle for less just to escape the waiting. But impatience often leads to unnecessary pain. Trust me enough to wait for what aligns with my purpose for you. What is meant for you will not require you to betray your values, silence your convictions, or shrink who you are. It will arrive in the right time, not because you forced it, but because you were ready. As you wait, do not disengage from life. Do not numb your heart or withdraw from hope. Waiting is not passive. It is active trust. Continue to grow, to learn, to love, and to serve, even when the outcome is unclear. Every step you take in faith prepares you for the next season of your life. You're not stuck. You are not forgotten. You are being formed. Purpose is unfolding even now, quietly and steadily. Stay with me in this season. Let me complete the work I have started in you. What is ahead will make sense of what you are walking through now. My beloved child, now that you have walked this far with me, I want you to lift your eyes and breathe again. You have carried pain, fear, waiting, and uncertainty for a long time, but this is not where your story ends. I know there were moments when you thought you would not make it, moments when you felt like giving up would be easier than continuing. Yet you are still here, listening, breathing, hoping in quiet ways. That alone tells me how much strength lives inside you, even when you doubted it yourself. I want you to understand something deeply and without confusion. Your life has meaning far beyond what you can see right now. You were not created randomly, and you were not sustained this long without purpose. Every season you walked through, even the ones that wounded you, has shaped something within you that will one day bless others. I do not waste pain. I do not overlook tears. I do not ignore faith that struggles but still chooses to stay. Everything you have endured is part of a larger story that is still unfolding. Hope may feel fragile to you now, like something you are afraid to trust again. You have hoped before and been disappointed, so you learn to protect your heart by expecting less. But I am inviting you to hope again, not in circumstances, not in people, and not in outcomes, but in me. Hope anchored in me will not collapse when things change. Even when the road ahead feels uncertain, my promises remain steady and unchanging. There will still be days when doubts try to return, when fear whispers that nothing has truly changed. In those moments, remember that transformation does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes change happens quietly, like light slowly filling a dark room. You may not notice it immediately, but it is real. Peace will begin to replace panic. Trust will slowly quiet fear. Strength will rise where exhaustion once lived. These are signs that healing is happening, even when you cannot yet see the full picture. I promise you this. You will not always feel this tired. You will not always feel this unsure. This season will not last forever. There will be moments of clarity, joy, and restoration ahead that will surprise you. You will look back one day and understand why certain things had to fall apart and why certain prayers were answered differently than you expected. What feels confusing now will later feel purposeful. When you walk forward from here, do not rush yourself. Do not pressure your heart to heal faster or your faith to be stronger overnight. Growth takes time, and grace allows room for that time. Stay close to me in both your strength and your weakness. Talk to me honestly. Rest when you are tired. Trust when you are afraid. I am patient with you, and I will never turn away from you. I want you to carry this truth with you wherever you go. You are deeply loved, completely seen, and constantly guided. No matter how lonely the road feels, you are never walking alone. I go before you to prepare the way. I walk beside you to steady your steps, and I stand behind you to protect what you have come through. Nothing can separate you from my presence. As you rise from this moment, I bless you with peace that settles your heart, with strength that renews your spirit, and with hope that carries you forward. I bless you with clarity in confusion, courage in uncertainty, and rest in seasons of waiting. Let your heart be light again. Let your faith breathe again. Your story is not over, and what is coming will be worth the journey. Stay with me. Walk with me. Trust me. I am with you always. Amen.